Cooperative learning is an instructional method in which students work together in small groups to complete a problem, project, or goal, while teachers act as guides or facilitators. This method works to reinforce the student's own learning as well as the learning of his or her fellow group members. The structured group is an effective tool to address learning, organizational, and communication problems at school. The early forms of cooperative learning appeared in the 18th century when pioneered by English educators Joseph Lancaster and Andrew Bell. The Common School movement in the United States in the early 19th century put a strong emphasis on collective learning strategies. The promotion of cooperative learning in the 20th century was marked by the work done by John Dewey and later Alice Neal and Herbert Thielen. It was in the 50s that American sociologist James S. Coleman campaigned for cooperative learning as a technique to reduce competition in schools and to minimize negative components in the education system. Coleman developed what he called a climate of values for the adolescent society he studied. Based on his findings, Coleman suggests that instead of encouraging competition in the academic setting, which, as he says, effectively impedes the process of education, schools should introduce a more collaborative approach to teaching. Coleman coined the terms climate of value in adolescent society, and they had an impact on future understandings of collective learning. In the 1960s, the U.S. education system showed clear preferences for individual learning methods. Cooperative learning, though, experienced a revival in the 1980s when teachers returned to the extensive use of this method. Building on Coleman's work, Robert Slavin published research on cooperative learning in 1994, referring to the cooperative learning method as student team learning. Defining cooperative learning as instructional programs in which students work in small groups to help one another master academic content, Slavin praised it as a way to capitalize on, he said, the developmental characteristics of adolescents in order to harness their peer orientation, enthusiasm, activity, and craving for independence within a safe structure.